Guys, I'm back. I don't know what happened before. My stream kind of like flunked out right before the landing in Bradley, and I have no idea what actually happened. So in this particular case, you didn't really miss anything. Just for the plain fact that I actually did a crash landing on the runway. I hit the runway a little bit too hard. So no harm, no foul. I thought I'd do another quick flight. This time we're gonna head out from Long Island. So if we look at the charts here real quick, we're gonna do Long Island MacArthur Airport to Bradley. We're gonna click fly now. We are facing 315 degrees. We're about 71 nautical miles away. That's not too far. We actually can look at the radar real quick and see if we show up, and we certainly do. And my plan is just showing you real quick that we are actually gonna fly down to Long Island, so about I would say 240-ish, 250, well, maybe 240 degrees towards New York City. Maybe head south of Long Island, of Manhattan, and then go north, probably around 6,000-7,000 feet. So that's our initial climb out. I'm probably gonna fly north real quick, take a left turn, 180, go out over Long Beach here, and then go southeast. So that's my plan. Figured out a couple of things as well. So number one, let me just go back here. So I'm gonna show the map once in a while. I figured a couple of things out. So number one, I should probably not have the autopilot on while landing. That's not good. While starting. Second thing is, I should also probably make sure I set altitude and heading, before that, and then activate it on time. So the one thing that I actually wanted to figure out, let me just put the parking brakes here. I actually don't know what that A320 is doing here. I don't know. I don't even know if I can actually fly out of here. We'll see. So, and I also figured out the light. It was, if I would have just looked a little bit closer. It says lights here, and we're all good to go. We can finally see, because I got into that cockpit right before I started the stream, and I literally didn't see anything. So I guess we are good. So the heading that I want to go is basically south, but let's do 210 for the climb out. So we'll climb out a little bit, and then maybe a mile we're gonna take a turn. The initial altitude that I want to go to is probably, let's do 4,500. Should be pretty nice to fly over New York City. And then later we'll climb up to 5,500, 6,000. We're not gonna go too high, just because I want to see the scenery a little bit more. Okay, with that being said, let's do the following. I actually want to see if I switch off the autopilot now. That should keep, the heading is still in there and the altitude. Okay, so that was my biggest mistake. I had the autopilot on, and obviously that is no good when you want to control the airplane yourself. If everything's ready, we take a look real quick. Is there anybody on my runway? Doesn't look like it. We had a runway 33, and we're gonna take off now and get this going. Alright, relieve parking brakes. Everything else is prepared for us, so we're gonna give initial RPMs are good. And we're getting power. We don't really need any flaps today, we are so light. Gonna go probably around 70-80 knots, and then we'll get airborne. V1. rotate, tap the brakes, gear up, climb out pretty steep here. All right. It's a little bit windy up here. Whoa. Some turbulence is going on. Let's make sure we stay on course. And we'll put the autopilot in. We'll put heading in and altitude. And we are good. We have no flaps, and we have our landing gear in. Make sure we get a little bit of a speed. Probably go around 150. Just take a look outside. Yep. So we're flying to the south now, away from the airport. Commercial jet over there in 4.5 miles, also just starting out of the airport. Yep, and right down there is where we took off. Pretty neat. It looks fantastic, holy crap. This is Long Island there. So now we're... Actually, let me switch off. Let me make sure. Let me switch that off real quick. Let us just switch off that real quick voice. There we go. We don't want the air traffic control to bother us right now. And we are good. So in a little bit we are actually, we see that here, we're leaving actual Long Island and we're going into the Atlantic, but we're basically just gonna stay alongside the Atlantic. So we are setting our heading probably, well, let's wait a little bit. Let's go a little bit further out so we can actually... Let's wait till we're like in this sector out here. Can put the prop a little bit back, put the mixture down again. And then let's take a heading of 240. Actually, let me see if we can switch off the outside lights. It's really weird that there's only either entire light on, there's no real nice panel light. This looks almost better. Yeah, this looks better. Let's keep it as it is here. And let's turn a little bit more. Let's put a little more in. Alright. Alright, good. Put the dome light back off. We see Long Island to our north or to our right. Streets right underneath us with the cars. And we're gonna head to New York City. Still doing good. And my stream seems to like have issues again, which is very interesting. Don't understand. I'll just keep going. It will transmit it. Hopefully. In the meantime, show you on the map where we are. So right now we're basically very close to Long Beach. We adjust here a little bit, and we should very soon see New York. Obviously we don't want to fly directly over land if we don't have to. We can already see it here in the distance. New York City up there. That might not even be New York City, I just realized. It might be still too far off. I think it is. It is there somewhere. We'll get there. Just the heading, just slightly more. Going directly west now. Which is good. It's crazy how big Long Island is too. Pretty incredible. So I don't know really a lot about the actual airplane. I'm pretty new to actually doing things correctly in P3D, and I'm with that plane. I'm nowhere close to even having 5% of doing things correctly. So as of right now, I'm just trying to have a good time. There's a lot of things that I don't know. I don't know how to program the nav here. I don't know how to program anything besides the autopilot, kind of. So maybe soonish I'll get a nice tip and somebody can explain that to me. Alright, what do we see over there? It looks like an airport. Yep, I think that is some sort of airport, but I don't know. Is that like... No, that can't be LaGuardia. I don't know which airport that is. We'll see it on the map in a second. That's interesting. Yeah, that's an airport. That's what I thought was New York, but that is not New York. How far can you zoom in? That's crazy. That is crazy. Ah, but it looks like that seems to be Brooklyn Bridge or Long Island. So we're basically gonna come. I'm actually gonna fly over Brooklyn. And interesting. Pretty cool. Very cool. What airport is that? That is, oh my god, that is KJFK. I had no idea that it's out there. See, that's how little I knew. Yeah, wow. That is JFK. We were too far away, so it wasn't drawing or anything. So there's a plane coming in, a commercial jet. There's finals. Wow. Just watch my speed here a little bit. We're good. That is crazy, okay. Just obfuscated now. So that is JFK. Huh. Actually, I could sit over here. There you go, we can see better. We have JFK here, in the back we have New York City. That's pretty dope. We'll obviously get closer. I see the Empire State Building, which is pretty cool. Just make sure I go through all the views. I gotta set up a chase plane at one point for me. What am I doing wrong here now? There we go. Losing a little bit of speed, which is okay. Alright, so at one point we are going to take a right turn. So we're basically probably go 15 degrees, which is a little bit more than north. So we're gonna go north eastish. We're gonna fly by New York on our left side, and hopefully we'll get a good view. Hopefully the weather is perfect, so we don't have any clouds, which is pretty nice. Wow. That is awesome. And I think that's the bridge to New Jersey. Yeah. So real quick to show you guys where we are on the charts. So basically we're gonna fly in here in Brooklyn, and then we're gonna go about 15 degrees over Brooklyn and basically bypass Manhattan, New York City, like so. Yeah, we got still a little bit to go. So in about 1.5 miles, I'm gonna take the turn. Wow, this is so cool. Pretty cool. That's the only thing I can say, because I'm actually really enjoying this experience right now. Alright, we are almost there. Almost. Actually, we should probably turn now so we get a better view. So we do 15. And we got it right in front of us. That's pretty much perfect. We can obviously adjust our course a little bit if we need to. Let's go on the outside real quick. Let's take a look. Night flight over New York. There we go. It's a little bit better. Back into the cockpit. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. See how... Again, I don't have the New York perfect textures for it, but it does look better than the default. I mean, the house models are... Yeah. Actually gotta see if they're... If I can do anything about the house model. I'm sorry for my poor camera work. I'm not really blown away how they did New York City, but it's definitely better than... It definitely looks more impressive than the default, which is, I guess, not too hard, because the default is like, what? Oh, that's the Statue of Liberty. There we go. There we go. We saw the Statue of Liberty too. Ellis Island. It's not really... So the new MS Flight models every building, which is gonna be insane. So this is obviously not impressive if we will compare it to the new one, but I still enjoy it. As the Empire State Building, it's just glitching a little bit. I'm actually wondering if that's the buildings from Orbix or if that's the default one. It doesn't seem to be that great, in all honesty. But yeah, I think that's... Is that Newark over there? The airport? I do see landing strips, so there might be Newark. It's too far out to actually draw it, but pretty cool nonetheless. So LaGuardia is right below us? Did we just miss that? Let me see. Did I just miss LaGuardia? Well, what the hell? Well, that's JFK. Oh, there we go. We're flying over it. There's LaGuardia. The third airport in New York City. Next to the... Next to Newark and JFK. Alright, and that was New York City. I'm not really impressed. I gotta see if there's anything I can do with maybe there's a New York JFK environment, because it does look cool with all the lights and stuff. Alright, now that we are going to our cruising altitude, we wanna go course I would say 50 degrees. Let me switch the overhead panel on so I actually see something. We're gonna go on our so-called cruising altitude, and we're gonna set our heading to 50 degrees and our altitude there we go. 6,500. Gonna go up 2,000 feet. So far so good. Everything is going as planned. Gonna go over here to the map again real quick to see where we were. So we started here in Long Island, all the way down over Brooklyn, past New York City. We're currently still over the Bronx, so we're gonna head out over Mount Vernon towards Connecticut, and our heading is basically going directly towards Hartford. And as once we're up there, we're gonna increase our speed a little bit. So we'll actually make some speed, and so we get home. I don't know what the altimeter always gives me issues today. They're not set standard. What do you actually set standard pressure? Do I need that? Are we not? Well, we're kind of high enough. Let me see that again. What do we have here? Where's the QNH? See, your altimeter is set incorrectly. It's continuously complaining. I have no idea. It is fine. I know really nothing about this plane, so I'm completely winging it, and I hope it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna set it manually. That's fine. And then let's give it. I think this model has a maximum speed of 240, so we're gonna push it a little bit. RPM a little bit back. I'm the worst. I know nothing about this plane, so just hope we don't crash. All right, we are slowly inching towards Connecticut. We are almost over the border. Last couple miles. and then we'll head over Greenwich, over Stamford, towards Hartford. Yeah, I mean, it makes a big difference if you play this with the default or with Orbix's packages. They are professional packages, they're easy to install. It's just then the Orbix installer, and they're pretty fun. They cost money though, they're not cheap, but it makes it a little bit more immersive, and yeah, I think it's good, it's worth it. And we are crossing Connecticut right now, state border. We're back home. See that on our nav too. Just crossed the border. I think we should still put down the RPMs a little bit. For cruising. Because I think if you have the proper BM. How are the winds today? Hey Dolreth, they're good. We just did a nice, beautiful flight from Long Island to Brooklyn. We looked at, let me show you on the map here real quick. So this is our position right now. We're right now very close to Stamford. We left KISP, which is on Long Island, so our flight started here. In Long Island, we flew down all the way down to Long Beach, took a right turn at 50 degrees over Brooklyn, flew over Brooklyn past New York City, all the way here for the Bronx, and we are now heading towards Hartford, back home to Bradley. Winds are good. So far, no issues. We're flying a small little plane, the Mooney. Acclaim, pretty good plane. And we are about, I would say, 20 minutes away from landing in Hartford. I could switch on the... Make sure... Plane's actually visible better. There we go. We already did a nice evening flight before, where we flew over. Oh, actually, we flew from Brainerd, the second Hartford airport, right south of Hartford to the east over the Connecticut River. We took a flight over Hartford, and then after a little leisurely spectating, took north to Bradley, and sadly the stream crashed about 10 minutes before I landed, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do a second flight before I'm actually taking off for today, and I felt like, you know what, why not check out Long Island? So, as I mentioned before, so we are flying Lockheed Martin's P3D, which is a fork of Flight Simulator from Microsoft. They're still producing it. They just released their 5th version, and this one's actually a 64-bit version of it. And for that specific version, there's a ton of licensed texture packs and texture improvements, which actually give this simulator a pretty decent look, especially in the evening with all the highways, and it's fairly accurate too. The scenery is pretty damn good. We're flying today without any air traffic control, so this is just flying as we go. Technically speaking, we're flying not IFR, not instrument flying, but we don't have a flight plan, and we're just flying instruments right now, even though... Yeah, you should actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take the route directly over Hartford so you can see how Hartford looks. It looks pretty stunning. Actually gonna go a little bit deeper for that. We are about, I would say, 10 minutes away from Hartford. And then we'll go a little bit lower. Yeah, the scenery looks amazing in dusk and at dawn, obviously. It's just spectacular. And I thought a leisurely flight with a prop is a little bit more fun than taking a commercial jet through downtown New York City. I don't think that would have been a good idea. Doing a low flyby in a A320 right next to the World Trade Centers, that's not a good idea. So we see down here that's actually over there, let me see where we are. To our right is I-91. Yeah, we see the connector down there. And actually I'm gonna do you a favor, I'm gonna correct my course a little bit. Just gonna do it upside down. Yeah, that would have been spectacular. An A320 upside down over Brooklyn, passing by New York City. I think that would have been fantastic. You know what? There's always another day. I can always try that. So we correct our course slightly because we want to go over Dolref's approximate residence. I have no idea where Dolref actually lives, but I know somehow the town that he sometimes frequents. So we are going to heading 62, I think, 63, which will bring us towards Meriden. And by the way, we also have real-time weather here now, using the Rex Skyforce real-time weather. Right now it's just beautiful out there, so that's why it's fairly boring, but they do a complete weather modeling with winds and clouds. It's pretty astonishing. So there's a small little airport on, that we're hitting in a sec. Let me course correct a little bit more. Well, actually go slightly more east. So that's the Waterbury. 84 is actually in front of us. The yellow line that you see here is 84 going towards Hartford. Taking a slight east course, and we're actually joining up with I-91. Right around Meriden. So this is 84. That is Waterbury over there. The intersection of all those highways, that is Waterbury. And yeah, we're a little bit away from joining up at I-91. But soonish. The impressive thing is also, like, now that I fly over here, we see that highway, you can actually see there are cars driving, and they actually, it's pretty cool. You see the cars there, it's pretty awesome. We're getting closer. So we have a small little airport here. I'm gonna show you Project Flight here real quick, which is our real-time tracking that we're doing. So we're right around Naugatuck, and about to what? 1 o'clock ish will be Meriden. And I think over there, the intersection, that might be already where Meriden is. So fairly soon we should be joining up with I-91. It's the highway that goes directly into Hartford. Let me look around here real quick out of interest. I think that's it, the big long line coming down from the south. Yep. There it is in front of us. That is I-91. Oh, there's an airplane down there. A Mooney, a claim as well. And I should probably switch over to my monitor. Yep, there's another Mooney down there landing into what looks like they just started. Okay, so there we go. There is Meriden right in front of us. Beautiful. And now we want to follow the highway north. We're gonna switch over and we're gonna correct our course slightly. And we're gonna take a not completely north course, but around 15 degrees. Yeah, I know. There's actually traffic in here and I'm flying with Project Fly. So you can have traffic from other people within that community show up. Because basically it's just metric data that you transmit to Flight Simulator, and the Flight Simulator is able to just display it. And it seems like my stream is causing issues again. Every time before the landing. I hope it recovers. I hope we're doing good. Right before we headed into Hartford. Yeah, if my stream pauses, I don't know what's going on. My internet connection seems fine, but maybe it's just Twitch that doesn't like me. But yeah, we are passing Hartford. This over here is Brainerd Airport. Right behind Brainerd Airport, in the back, is East Hartford. And this is the airport that we started off earlier today, just for a test flight. And we're heading towards Hartford. Actually, we could set the... Let's go... Let's go 4,000. Go back a little bit with our speed. This camera is too slow. Got the airport here. And we're already getting ready to get to KBDL, and we see actually the landing lights in the front. So we gotta prepare for a landing. Hopefully it goes better than the landing before. Alright. Let's make sure we get a quick view of Hartford. There we go. Downtown Hartford. And we gotta prepare, we gotta slow down our airplane a little bit. And then we gotta switch up the dome light. We put a heading in, we gotta take a turn. We set our altitude to 3,000. Actually, let's set it to 2,500. So we're gonna take a nice left turn here. We're gonna use the autopilot to basically bring us in. What happened last time, my stream stopped, like just displaying, but I didn't recognize it until I actually landed. But I landed into Hartford, and I apparently landed a little bit too rough, so I actually had a landing gear brake and actually, so to speak, crashed. So that was not a good landing. Coincidentally, I would have really liked the footage, but it just didn't transmit, which is not good. Alright. We are getting close. It's getting windier down here. A little bit rougher. It would have been nice footage though to see my ass crash onto the tarmac. But I looked it up on Project Fly, and apparently I just had, what was it, minus 270 feet per minute, which for a landing is pretty rough. I think you should be below 100 feet per minute, which is what, about 1.5 feet per second. Which, if you think about it, that sounds about right. Alright, we are almost at the correct altitude that I want to be. And we might go a little bit lower. 1700, and we'll take a left turn. Again, I'm flying this without charts. This is all just like me looking at the maps, and so there's a lot of room for error, especially for somebody like me that is not a pilot. Alright, we're gonna go at about 40. I'm gonna keep the dome light on for right now because I wanna make sure I can see if I need to course correct and stuff. Alright, we can put our speed a little bit down. Need to adjust it a little bit more. And then afterwards we're just gonna take out the heading and I'm gonna manually align it, but we're gonna make sure we hold the... This is what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna make sure the aircraft holds. You can switch off the dome light right now. Holds the altitude, 1800 feet, or 1700 actually. And we get a bit lower when we hit when we hit 120 knots. We'll put flaps 1 out. So we need to slow down a little bit, can't be too fast. Okay. Gonna deactivate the autopilot now. Put out the landing gear. And we are manual. And again, we have no air traffic control, so it could be that we have traffic here. Flaps 2. All right, make sure you wish me luck. We're a little bit too high here. We gotta get lower. Otherwise, we are good, well aligned. Had to align the altimeter. We're a little bit too much right. 300. A little bit more gas. We're coming in pretty nicely. 87 knots. The rudder a little bit. Okay. Smooth. Smooth. Whoa. This plane wants to fly. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. 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 She really wants to fly. Holy crap. Okay. All right. We're almost at a stall at the end, but we landed. Whew. That was nerve-wracking, because this plane has so much drag. You're going like 70 miles an hour, and this plane's still... It's still going. It won't stop flying. Where do we vacate the runway? Let me just take a look. To our left, I assume. Yep. That is actually the... No, we can't vacate here. We gotta go further. That's the other runway. That's runway 119. There we go. Whew. That was nerve-wracking. That was really nerve-wracking. Jesus Christ. But we made it. We landed in Hartford. And we're gonna bring... Actually don't know, because I didn't do any air traffic control. I don't actually know. Where do we bring the airport? The airplane. Actually, we can just park it over there. For parking. Hui. All right. Guess we can just park it. Just park it over here. We don't really need to go to the terminals because we are obviously not a large aircraft. So we can just put it at a parking position somewhere here. There we go. It should be good. There we go. All right, parking brakes on. And we're basically good. Can switch off the lights. Switch off the dome light. Put everything back to normal. Flaps are up. Air brakes off, nav off, power off. Why am I switching stuff on? There we go. Switching nav off. Before I want to do that, the main power switch, I actually want to switch off the aircraft. There we go. And that was it for today. Our plane landed safely. Oh, there's the the actual tower. The ATC barely visible right now, and there's some buildings over there. We didn't really get to the actual airport, but that's fine. That's fine. We are good. Just put in the parking spot. All right. Thanks for watching, Vasily, and whoever else was watching. Have a good night, and till next time. Bye-bye.